Pastor Radu.
Hey, everyone.
Where are you from originally?
Northampton.
Originally?
Romania.
Where?
Romania.
Northampton. I'm from Ireland.
I'm from Romania.
Romania. When did you move to the UK?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you came here,
Yeah.
were you already doing property?
No.
No. What did you do for a living when you got here?
Selling boilers to British Gas.
Sold boilers, British Gas. Cool.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to do.
No.
No, it's alright.
Yeah.
Good boilers? Get us a discount?
Always.
Still do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So he sells boilers for British Gas. If anybody wants a discount on the boiler, I know a guy. What's the box? Yeah.
Only those.
So, how many properties did you have before you met me?
One.
Were you living in it?
No.
Did you own it?
As an investment.
Buy to let?
Yeah.
Bought it, owned it?
BRR.
Okay, cool. What have you done? When did you meet me? When did you come on the training with me?
A year ago.
A year ago? Is it a year ago? Less than a year ago?
Yes.
I don't know you as long
Was
as
it
Rachel.
20.
Summer of 22, so it's about 9 months ago, is it?
Yeah, no, because I started the mastermind in October.
Yeah.
So yeah, July before. Yeah.
Okay, so about 9 months, something.
Ish. Yeah.
Right. What have you? What did you do? No, it was summer 22.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
got
yeah.
your first deal in August, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so first deal in August.
Yeah.
When did you get your second one?
That went for about a month, and then December I think I went
Yeah.
for the proper one.
And here's why I wanted to bring him up, because he did the training in June or July, so it's about 9 months ago. He got his first deal in August. Great, deal straight away. And then what can happen is you can get confident and go, another deal. And then it's September, October, November, nothing's happening. And all I hear is moan, it's not working. And then you got one in December.
Yeah.
Because property is like buses. When you want one, it's not there. Yeah, and they just happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're now in March.
Yeah.
Where are you at now? We're in April, aren't we?
Yeah.
Since yesterday. At March,
Yeah.
that was my April Fool's joke. It's not March. It's April.
Yeah.
Where are you at now? What have you done? You did
so
one in August, one in December.
I got one rent to estate in Northampton. Is running okay.
Okay, so one in August,
Yeah.
one in December.
Yeah.
When you say, which one is that? The August one is the one, okay. The first one.
No, the August I have to give it back because the landlord didn't
Yeah,
tell me the
so how
truth.
much were you making on it?
The previous one, mine August.
Yeah,
Oh, it was cash flowing from day one, £1,500.
1,500 quid, profit.
Profit,
Okay,
net profit.
1,500 quid.
Yeah.
So the landlord's taking it back. Will this happen with rent to rent?
Yeah.
Of course, they're not your house. So you sign a contract, sometimes you've got what's called a break clause in there, sometimes the landlord will take it back. Does it matter?
No.
No, not if I've made 1,500 quid for a while. But secondly, how did you learn from the first one?
Yeah, never
Yes.
trust anyone.
So you've got
Never trust anyone.
Never trust anyone. Yeah. Never trust the landlord.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Will you learn in a room and then you learn on the streets. Okay? And that deal, the first deal, your first deal, here's what I see people doing in life. They're waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect deal. I want to buy the right property at the right time. But I did 67 deals last year. How many of them could be the best one?
All of them.
How many could be the best one?
One.
Only one. The next has to be the second best, and one of them has to be the 67th best. Only one can be the best, but they all have to work. I've given loads of deals back. And if anyone ever says to you, and I'm bringing people up to teach you reality, because if anybody ever says to you, when you take on rent to rent, you're going to have that property till you die. It's a rent to rent. You don't own it. You've got to give it back at some point. Some of them you'll give that back after a few months. Some of them you'll give back after a few years. And I teach in my training something called the 6-month rule, where you've got to get all of your money out within the first 6 months. And it is critical you do that, because otherwise you're guaranteed to not lose it in the first 6 months. After 6, then it's all down to what you agreed in your contract. So you also need a contract. You with me on that? Make sense? Very, very important. But if you got a house, rented it for 6 months, and had to give it back after 6 months, having got your money out, but you had 6 months to go on social media and say, hi, this is my property, just took this on, etc. And you get to learn the process of how to do rent to rent, learn the process of how to run the property. Raise your hand if you've had promotion opportunity for your business and learning opportunity for your business.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if that's worthwhile in itself. Because this game is not about the money you make in 6 months. This game is about your entire property journey. Remember I said earlier, you're building a property business. You're building a business. Now, second deal, in December, what's the profit?
About 700.
700 a month profit. Okay, and it's a rent to rent, you don't own the house.
No, obviously.
Cool. How long is your contract for on that one?
3 years.
3 years. So you're going to make 700 quid a month for 3 years. Cool. What else have you done?
I just took the keys for a 6-bed HMO.
6-bed HMO, what month? March?
Yeah. And
March, 6-bed HMO, what will the profit be on that?
well, I just signed a contract for assisted living for 5 years, which is exactly the same length as the contract for the rent to rent.
Yes. So,
And I will be making a...
let me explain that to the room, just in case. Who has no idea what he just said? Okay. So he's took a property off a landlord on a guaranteed rent, on a contract. He's took this contract with a landlord for a property. Okay? What's your profit?
Should be 850 a minimum.
Okay. So he's took the contract. He's immediately, so it says from landlord to Radu. He then took the same contract and went from Radu to supported living provider. 850 quid profit, same property, same contract, and he sits in the middle. The landlord is one piece of bread, the supported living provider is the other piece of bread, and he's the meat in the middle of the sandwich. Where's the money? In the meat. Who likes that idea? No voids, no bills, no costs, no maintenance, nothing. Give him a round of applause for that. What else have we done?
It's not running now, but the same landlord, because he saw me on social media, speaking on social media, we got 8 rent to SA flats, self-contained, that will come into my portfolio.
When are you getting them?
Should be by October.
Okay, so he's agreed with you. Why is he not giving them to you now? Why not till October?
Because they're building at the moment.
They're building them. Okay. Okay, so a landlord is building 8 flats, converting 8 flats, and he's already gone to Radu and has said, once they're ready, you've got them, they're yours. Have you signed anything yet?
No.
Okay, but how confident are you they're yours?
Well, it's the same landlord with the HMO.
Oh, it's the same landlord as the HMO, he's got them. Okay, so the landlord has given him this HMO that he's given to the supported living provider, has said, I'm now working on 8 flats. Because, by the way, some landlords with large portfolios, guess what they want to do? They want to buy, refurbish, and then pass over to a letting agent or a guaranteed rent person. Pass it on. So they can then buy, refurbish, refinance, get their money, do the next one. Who thinks that maybe after those 8 flats, that same landlord might say to Radu, our next project is this, and they'll be ready in the summer of 2024, and you can have those as well. Raise your hand. Because what did I say Radu is building here? No, a business. Trust, rapport, etc. with the landlord, but he's building a business. And in a business, properties come as they come. Raise your hand if this has been helpful. Okay, cool. So, any questions for the guys?
How did you find them?
Well, no, you didn't put your hand up, I'll go here. Yeah.
How do you run your business from Sweden?
Microphone, got it.
So the rent-to-rent, obviously with JV partners, like Kevin mentioned. Lease option, it's with a letting agent. And when you go to networks like this and you scale your network, obviously you just ask people about the builders they're using, their contact, their experience, and then obviously I go and do the due diligence by having the call and etc. And then I decide.
Do you think you'd be able to have done what you did having not been trained by me?
No,
Why?
because the knowledge that you gave those 2 days, and we were considering doing the mastermind, but because of the, if we were living in the UK, I definitely say you should do the nesting because it's a lot of help you get. I have people that have done it, that did the same, like me when we bought it, and they have flourished. So, and you can obviously see these people as well.
Do you think you'd be where you were? Why not?
It's the support and the network of the people you meet. All of the deals that I've got have been from people I've met in this room.
All of her deals are from people she met in the room.
And it just gives you the confidence as well. I'm not a big social media person, but Kevin kicks my ass if I don't post. And he really teaches you how to delegate. So, yeah.
Because we're building a business. You're not supposed to. What's the point in quitting one job to create another job? It's pointless. You've got to delegate, create a business. So, leverage, manage, do. Leverage comes first, manage comes second, doing comes third. Yeah.
I think you maybe sort of alluded to it with the networking side of things. But for those of us that haven't got into this before, haven't got into property and haven't got into these sorts of deals before, then there's the confidence thing. There's the how do you get over that initial inertia of, part of it will be the training, but even so, there's that breaking through and actually doing it.
It's the people.
Because whatever you do, whatever you learn, you can go away from this very enthused. But if you don't take some action in relation to it, nothing's going to happen.
That's exactly the point. What happens is you leave here and you go home and you hang around with family and friends and work colleagues, and life gets in the way. And that's why most people don't do stuff. It's not that they're not capable of doing it, they're hanging around with the wrong people and they're not doing it. Why do you think 40 odd of my students are back in the room today? Very simple. This is the mothership. They come back to re-energize, to re-engage, to re-meet, to network. They're doing deals around the room, by the way. They're chatting with each other, doing deals around the room, looking at deals around the room. Changavi, I can see just here. You've just had a deal funded in Peterborough. How much is the purchase price? 300. How much of your money are you putting in? A bit. You're paying for the refurb. The purchase price of 300. Is the purchase price 300?
Yeah.
How much of the 300 are you borrowing? All of it. And are you borrowing it from a total stranger or another one of my students? Another one of my students. Just borrowing it from somebody else in the room. That's all. Right? And too many people are trying to do it alone instead of doing it together. We give these guys a round of applause. Actually, we go straight into content. Okay. So